Hi, I'm Lauren from SpinFX, and this is your intro to the Infinity Wand. Meet Wanda, aka the Infinity Wand. I want to show you a little bit about the wand. So first of all, if you find the SpinFX logo, this is known as the master board. This is where the brains of the wand are, and all the little components that make it do all the amazing things that it does. Then you'll see 4 extension boards that make up the rest of the wand. And these extension boards are all the same, and they each have the FX logo on them. And in total, the 5 boards have 128 LEDs on each side. So the Infinity Wand has 256 LEDs total. Now, if you find the top of the wand, which again is the SpinFX logo, and you take off the end cap, if you look inside, you will find the power button, which is this small gray button right here, the USB port, which is where you will plug it in to charge it and also to connect it to your computer. And the third thing you can find in here is a small black reset button. And what you do is you use a small pin to hit this reset button in case there's ever an issue, the wand doesn't turn on, or something else strange happens, possibly with a corrupt file being on it. It's just a little extra measure that we've added to reset your wand back into working mode. So when you do want to turn the power on, you just press the gray button once, and it'll take a couple of seconds, but then the wand will turn on. And to turn the wand off, you hold the gray button down for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and the wand is off. Okay. We do have a small plastic ring here that holds your finger loop and your string in place when you're not using the wand. I'm going to show you right now a little bit about balance on the wand. So as you all know, balance is very important when you are using your wand. So what I'm going to show you right now is extremely important to keep in mind. And what you want to do is you always want to have your string opposite the side of the LEDs. So what this does, it helps with balance, and it also ensures that the LEDs are facing outward for the best visibility of the graphics when you're flowing. The other thing about balance is that we've discovered we like best 3 washers in the top end cap. So we do include 4 washers with your accessories kit, 1 extra just in case you happen to lose one. But we put 3 washers in the top end cap, push those down, oops, and then we put it back on. I like to push this up to the top when I'm ready to flow, put my finger loop on, check that my LEDs are facing out, and we're good to go. Okay. Now let me show you what comes with the accessories kit. We have a USB cable for charging and connecting to your computer. We have a wall charger that is used for charging. There's 2 ports in the wall charger. You can use either one of them. There's one that says 2.1 amps and one that says 1 amp. We like to use the 2.1 amp because it charges faster. And the other thing that's included are 2 IR remotes. And just keep in mind that an IR remote needs a direct signal to the IR receiver on the component side of the master board, which is where all the little components are. So what you're going to use the wand for, or the remote for, I'm going to turn the wand on, are a few things. The red button at the top of the remote is used to save the current setting or pattern on the wand and to shut the wand off or put it into sleep mode. Now, only use that red button if you want the pattern that you currently have on the wand to be the starting pattern the next time that you turn the wand on. Otherwise, you want to always turn the wand power off with the physical button on the end of the wand. Okay, and that will allow it to continue starting with the same pattern over and over. Next, the yellow and the orange buttons are used for scrolling back and forth between patterns. However, you can only use those 2 buttons, or they only work when the wand is in autoplay off mode. What is autoplay? Autoplay is when the wand is scrolling between the patterns, like it is right now. You can see every couple of seconds it changes to a new pattern. This means that autoplay is on. If you want to shut autoplay off and freeze the wand on a certain pattern, you use the green button in the middle of the remote, like so. You saw it flash red. That means it is now stopped and paused, and it's set on autoplay off. It will stay on this pattern as long as I keep it on, or as long as until I hit the green button again and turn it back to autoplay on. But what I want to show you first is now the yellow and the orange buttons can be used to scroll through, find your favorite pattern. Ooh, I love this one. And it'll be, it'll stay on this pattern now for as long as you want. But I'm gonna put it back to autoplay on because I like it when it just scrolls through patterns on its own. And I'm going to show you next. The blue and the purple buttons on the bottom of the remote are for brightness levels. So you can turn it down if you want to extend the battery life a little bit longer, or you can turn it back up if you really, really want the LEDs to pop and be super wow. And then the final button is my favorite button, which is the pink button on the bottom. And this is used for our battery level indicator. So you hit the pink button and the wand will light up what percentage of battery is remaining. This wand is fully charged, so it's lighting up 100% green. As the battery starts to drain, it will turn to yellow and then to orange, and then will only show a few red LEDs at the very end once the battery is getting very low. We also have an automatic off. When the battery does get to a critical level, the wand will automatically shut itself off. So always make sure you charge up your wand fully if that happens. Another quick thing just to share with you about batteries is that if you're not using your wand very often, or as much as we hope you are, try to make sure that you're charging up the wand at least once a month to help the life of the batteries. It's a good rule of thumb to do just so they don't get to very critical levels. It will extend the life of them for you. Okay, so I'm going to shut this bad boy off, put this back on, and now we're going to show you how to connect to your computer. All right, and this portion of the tutorial is showing you how to connect the Infinity Wand to your computer. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to power on our wand, and we're going to plug the USB cable into it, and in a few seconds you will see the RGB mode begin to scroll, which means that it's in programming mode. So I already have the other end of the USB cable plugged into the computer. And now I'm going to open a Finder window, and this is on a Mac. And if you're on a PC, you would open one of your windows to see all of your files. And you can see on the left-hand side here, the Wanda drive is going to show up. So the wand acts as an external hard drive, and when you click the wand drive, you will see all of the patterns that are situated on the wand. Woohoo! Lots of fun patterns. There are also a few other important files on here that I want to go over with you. The first one is called the device info file, and if you double click that, this gives you the firmware version and the date of the version, as you can see here, of the firmware that is on your wand. And in case we ever need to ask you that info, that's where you can find it. And the other thing I want to show you, I'm going to go hit S and take us down to the S's here, is the settings.cfg file. The settings file, if I double click and open it, actually I'm going to just open it with a text edit on Mac or Notepad on PC. And this has a couple of important things here, such as setting the color order. You want to leave that alone. That's important for the right colors to come through on the LEDs. Means blues are blues, greens are greens, and reds are reds. We have the number of LEDs set as 128. We have the brightness at 200. Full brightness is 255, so we keep it just a little bit under. We have speed. We have autoplay. Autoplay is commanded through zeros and ones, so autoplay 1 is on. Autoplay off is 0, so you can also change that here by changing it to a 0 and then saving the settings file. Autoplay delay is set in milliseconds, and this right now, so this equals 8 seconds. So each pattern plays for 8 seconds when autoplay is on, and then it will switch to the next pattern. We currently have it in alphabetical mode, so it alphabetically goes through the patterns. You can also change the sort mode to random if you want. You can ignore the orientation. Bluetooth is set to on, so we want that. So this is if you're using a script in the future. And the bottom line here is important because this shows us the first pattern that the wand is playing whenever we turn it on. So I have it set to play Excite. And you always want to make sure the .bmp is there because it will go and search for that file name over here. And let's find it. And then that is the first pattern that the wand will play when it's turned on. So be sure if you make any changes to this that you save it before you close it. And you don't want to have any additional lines or spaces in there because that can cause some funny things to happen. So just keep it like that. And if you ever need to get a new copy of the settings file or all of the patterns that are loaded on your wand with the factory settings, you can go to the Infinity Wand page, and under the tutorials tab there is a link to download all of these files again if you need. All right. One other thing I did want to tell you about is if you want to delete or add on different patterns. So you can see that most of the patterns here, we like to keep them under 15 kilobytes, and that's important because if you put larger patterns onto the wand, it can cause delays in the loading time for the next pattern. So we definitely don't want to see that. And also it just takes up a lot of space on the wand. So we want to have lots of fun patterns on there. If you want to initially save all of these patterns onto your computer, that's always a good idea, just so you have a file full of them. And I'll show you real quick now. Let's see what I might do if I wanted to remove a few files. I will, let's see here. I'm gonna make a folder on my desktop called Wand Patterns. I'm gonna open that up, and I'm gonna select a few of these to take them off your wand. You can either highlight and delete them or drag them off of the wand drive. And let's see here. So come back. I'm going to select delete, and they're gone that quick. And if you wanted to add one back in, you can say I want to bring this rainbow back in. You can just drag and drop it, and it's back on, just like that. Okay, another thing I wanted to show you real quick is scripting, which is the feature that allows you to choreograph your patterns to music by time codes. So this is just a quick and dirty of it. We actually have a more detailed tutorial, but basically you will have the patterns that you want to play. You will have a script file and also a settings file. And if you open your script file, you will see different time codes on the left telling it to play a certain pattern on the right. And so basically just the fast of what this does is, let's say, you start with the grid rainbow at 0, and then at 10 seconds it will switch to this spiral white pattern. And you can time it to your song. And we'll have some newer features on our website soon which will make this even much easier and will allow you to drag and drop patterns on the timeline. So stay tuned for that. And if you want more information on scripting and choreographing multiple wands, you can contact us, or you could check out the scripting and choreo tutorial and webinar that we have on our YouTube page. It works exactly the same for hoops and for wands, and you could create a script for both hoops and wands together if you have both of those devices from us. Okay, that was your basic intro tutorial to the Infinity Wand. We hope you love this wand as much as we do. Be sure to head to our website, spin-fx.com, to check out the Infinity Wand page. We have tons of awesome information for you there, including more tutorials and a very handy troubleshooting guide. And please follow us on Instagram at spineffects_. And don't forget to hashtag Infinity Wand so we can see all of the magic that you create with these beautiful wands. All right, happy flowing.